What's up, Jared over here? Today we have the weekly setup review of Monday Night Raw.
They kicked out the show with CM Punk coming out, and CM Punk addressed his injury. I don't know if you watched Monday Night Raw, you obviously saw it, or you probably saw it everywhere in clips. CM Punk tore his tricep in the Royal Rumble completely off his right arm when Drew McIntyre gave him a DDT. It was just how he landed. It's nothing, no fault to Drew McIntyre. It was a very heartfelt, sad promo. He was talking about how this is just a roadblock and there's always next year, which is kind of sad how he said that. And he's like, I will come back for my recovery, but he said, I will be missing this WrestleMania. And he started talking about how this is just a roadblock. He shouldn't be worried about it because he's like, there's people out in there fighting cancer and stuff. He goes, that's a bad thing. And he just kind of explained how his injury isn't a bad thing, shouldn't be something to be upset about, because he was talking about how he has a friend that's battled cancers and all that stuff. So it's like a personal kind of sad promo. It was pretty good. And then CM Punk was going on to talk about how long he's gonna be out, and then Drew McIntyre's music hits. He comes out and says to CM Punk, he's like, I couldn't sleep all night after the Royal Rumble because you took my dream away. You eliminated me. He was all pissed off, and then he goes, he's like, I almost felt bad for you about your arm. He goes, but I want to tell you the truth. I prayed for a moment like this to happen. I'm like, dang, bro just said he prayed for CM Punk to be injured. And he goes, then the next night I slept like a baby. I'm like, oh my God, they're doing a great job making Drew McIntyre heel. Then Drew McIntyre ended up attacking CM Punk, beating him up. All the people are thinking, oh, CM Punk's not hurt. It's where when you tear muscle off the bone, you can't injure it anymore. So it was just painful for him when he was getting beat up, but he can't injure himself anymore. So he definitely won't be able to fight at WrestleMania because he's going to have surgery and rehab and stuff, and then you can't wrestle after that or take a bump. But right now he can take any bump, and it's just going to really hurt, but he can't damage it anymore. But a really good way to start off the show. Very sad to hear CM Punk won't be at WrestleMania 40. I was looking forward to him to fight Seth Rollins. Also, when Drew McIntyre is beating up CM Punk, they were trying to save him. Then Sami Zayn's music comes out. Sami Zayn's music hits. He comes out attacking Drew McIntyre and getting him off CM Punk, saving him. And then that ended up setting up the main event. It was Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn, which I'll go over later. Next up, the Undisputed Tag Team Champions, Finn Balor and Damian Priest, defended against DIY, Tommaso Ciampa, and Johnny Gargano. This was actually a pretty good match. There was one time I actually thought, wait, oh my God, DIY's gonna win. They had with Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa both had Finn Balor and Damian Priest in headlocks or something. It was some kind of chokehold thing on the ground, and they were both in the middle of the ring. I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna get it. One's gonna pass out, one's gonna tap. And right before Finn Balor was about to tap, Damian Priest powered through, lifted up Tommaso Ciampa while he was still in the hold, and dropped his body on it to break the hold from Finn Balor. With Johnny Gargano holding Finn Balor or Tommaso Ciampa, I can't remember. But I was like, dang, I really thought for a second, there was a quick second, I was like, oh my God, we're going to have new tag champs. But we didn't. They ended up then hitting the Razor's Edge and then the coup de grace, 1, 2, 3, retaining tag champs. Then Damian Priest grabs the mic, and Dominic Mysterio, Finn Balor, JD McDonagh are all in the ring, and he calls out R-Truth. He says, R-Truth, come join us in the ring. R-Truth comes out. He says, it's okay, we're not going to attack you. You're safe. He comes in the ring. He's like, I want to address how you, we're family. And R-Truth's like, oh yeah, we're family. Damian Priest, you're like a big brother. Finn Balor, you're like the weird uncle, which I was just dying. Dominic, and then the crowd starts moving. He's like, oh, my bad. And then JD McDonagh, he's like, you're like the weird stepbrother that nobody wants to admit that you're the family. I'm like, dang. And then Damian Priest's like, you gotta stop interrupting people. He's like, I wanted to say, I really like you, R-Truth. I enjoy you. You make me laugh and stuff. And he goes, I feel bad for what I've done to you, but for that reason, that's why I'm going to have Dominic and do this. And then Dominic and JD McDonagh start beating the holy hell out of him. And then Miz's music hits. He comes out in the ring trying to save his tag partner right now because they're kind of being a tag team, bringing back Awesome Truth. Then Miz completely failed, saving the huge number outgained. It was huge difference in numbers game. I meant they set him up, and then Finn Balor hit the stomp a couple times on the coup de grace stomp on him several times, just laying him out. But that was that segment. Also forgot to say, they started the show off with actually Pat McAfee's music hits, and Pat McAfee came out to the commentary table with Michael Cole. Michael Cole announced that the new commentary team for Monday Night Raw is Pat McAfee and Michael Cole, and then SmackDown's gonna be Wade Barrett and Corey Graves, which I think that's a W commentary section or like setup. Next up was Bronson Reed versus Jey Uso. This is like one of the only singles matches Jey Uso's had, even though he became a singles person. He hasn't had many singles one-on-one matches like on Raw since then. He's done a lot of tag team stuff. He won the tag titles with Cody and stuff. So finally he's been having, he got a good one and a good win for a singles match. He beat Bronson Reed, hit him with the Samoan Splash, 1, 2, 3. Nice little pickup for a victory for Jey Uso. Next up was a very, very interesting segment. Cody Rhodes, back-to-back Royal Rumble winners, hasn't been done since 26 years since Stone Cold did it. Cody is him. He comes out. The announcers finally announced the 2023 and the 2024 Royal Rumble winner. Cody's like, oh man, I heard something the announcer say for the first time ever, and he had Samantha Urban repeat it while he was running around the ring doing a like victory lap, celebrating. He starts talking about his story, and then Seth freaking Rollins music hits. Seth Rollins comes out and he goes, Cody, I'm getting serious. And he takes the sunglasses off, throws them. He goes, if you pick Roman, you're making a huge mistake. I'm like, no, Cody's picking Roman. But I'm gonna talk about my opinion later. Seth Rollins is like, you should pick me. I want you to pick me because I'm a workhorse champion. I actually show up. The whole point of this championship was supposed to be a workhorse champion that defends every single weekend, because you and me have been traveling through the road ever since this title was created. Was brought ever since I've been champion, and you should pick me because I'm a workhorse champion. This is the blue collar championship, not the championship that Roman Reigns has, not the WWE championship, the Hollywood championship, the Hulk Hogan championship, which was interesting. They dropped Hulk Hogan because when Hogan was champ, he defended it all the time. So I don't know what Seth Rollins is talking about there. He's like the person that never shows up, the one that cheats to win every time. I'm like, dang, Seth Rollins is going at Roman Reigns. And he goes, or do you want to win the Blue Collar Championship, the Dusty Rhodes Championship? And he's like, he goes, I want you to finish your story. But he's like, I want you to face me if you're going to finish your story. And then Cody's just sitting there thinking about it while Rollins is talking about how he should pick him, finish his story at WrestleMania 40. And Cody's like, you know what? I wasn't even thinking about you. I'm like, dang. Cody wasn't even putting any thought into Seth Rollins. And he's like, you know what? After you saying this, I'll think about it. So, I'm going to say this right here. Cody Rhodes is not picking Seth Rollins. At the end of the Royal Rumble, he pointed at Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns stood up, showing off the championship. In the press conference, he literally said he's picking Roman. I'm like, this felt like useless. And the whole crowd, his whole time, was chanting, no, 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 and booing Seth Rollins. Like, they do not want Seth Rollins fighting Cody. Cody's already beat Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. He's already beat him 3 other times. It's like, no, there's no point for this. This also, Seth Rollins like ruined his own point. He said, sorry, I'm struggling holding this up because Gunther's in the way. But no, he's like, this is Dusty Rhodes' title. The whole point of the finishing story is to win the WWE Championship, the title that Dusty never had. Dusty had the World Heavyweight Championship in WCW, so that's that's not even finishing the story. So he wouldn't even be able to finish the story if he beat Rollins. And then also now put in the story, part of this building to the story now is beating Roman Reigns, dethroning Roman Reigns. So he's clear. He has to fight Roman Reigns and beat him. So Cody's definitely picking Roman. I think they're just doing this to try to make it less obvious and try to make us like freak out and swerve it a little bit, but they're just trying to make it less obvious. Clearly, Cody Rhodes is picking Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40, and he's going to dethrone him finally. Next up was a really good match. Gunther versus Kofi Kingston for the Intercontinental Championship. Gunther always putting on amazing matches. Kofi was putting on pretty good performers, but Gunther ended up picking up the victory. But it was a pretty decent match going back and forth. There's a couple times I was like, oh, Kofi almost had it. Then Gunther ended up throwing him in like the turnbuckle, grabbed him, powerbomb him, 1, 2, 3. After that, Ludo Kaiser came out to try to beat up Kofi. Xavier Woods comes out, and then Gianni Da Vinci, Ludo Kaiser beat the holy hell out of Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, just laying out the New Day. I like this storyline they're doing with the New Day right now in Imperium. It's pretty cool. More of a serious side to the New Day. They said that in their backstage promo. They're like, everybody knows us as the Bootios, Pancakes, all that stuff, goody and all that stuff. They're like, but whoa, this time we're serious. We want gold, all this stuff, because it was before Kofi fought Gunther. the backstage promo, so I'm liking this more serious side of the New Day. It's interesting. Andrade was backstage with Adam Pearce, and he signed to Monday Night Raw. Nick Aldis came in, he's like, man, so I lend you Bailey to the show tonight, and you don't even mention that you're trying to convince Andrade. He's like, that's okay. He goes, I gotta take this call. This is Braun Breaker. I'm like, oh snap, Braun Breaker's gonna sign to freaking SmackDown? Maybe. That'd be awesome. Can't wait for Braun Breaker to finally make the main roster, but it's awesome to see Andrade now. It's gonna be on Monday Night Raw. Next up was Bailey came out to the ring, but actually before that, Asuka and her tag team partner, the Ibushi Warriors. I think that's what it is. It's such a weird name. They're the new tag champs, so they were defending their they're not defending their tag titles. They were having a match against Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. Whoever, if Chelsea Green and Piper Niven win, they get a tag title shot, which they lost. I thought it was kind of dumb, but whatever. After that match, Bailey was in the ring with the rest of the Damage Control, so Io Sky, Asuka, and the other girl, and Dakota Kai. And Bailey was like, I'm fine. She's like, this is the best one the roster's ever been. The top it's ever been for the women's roster. And I won the Royal Rumble final. She goes, I beat Rhea Ripley's little record and everything. She goes, I'm going to WrestleMania 40 and I'm going to fight. And right before she even got to say who she's going to fight, Rhea Ripley music hits. Rhea Ripley comes on. She goes, whoop-de-doo, you get to break my little record. She goes, if you pick me at WrestleMania, I'll absolutely dominate you and retain my championship. And then from behind, Nia Jax absolutely lays out Rhea Ripley. They go to the ring. Nia Jax still beating the holy hell out of Rhea Ripley, just laying her out, and then gets in the face of Bailey, and Bailey and the Damage Control run from Nia Jax. Nia Jax said, you can pick anybody. You could even Io Sky. I was like, oh, they're hinting towards that, because it's obvious. I think that's what they're gonna do. Bailey's become like a babyface once again, but she's like, Rhea Ripley won't be making it to WrestleMania because I'll beat her. Like, interesting. I think Elimination Chamber is going to be Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax for the World Heavyweight Women's Championship, obviously, because they're going to be in Rhea Ripley's home, Australia. It makes sense for her to defend the title, but she's definitely going to retain. Then the main event was Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn's return one-on-one match, his return match since his little injury, was the Royal Rumble, but obviously first return match on live TV. Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn's put on a really good match. Really close back-to-back from like trying to get the win. Drew McIntyre almost had it. Sami Zayn kicks out. Sami went to go for a haluva kick, but Drew McIntyre was on his knee, went to go block the haluva kick, had his hands up, and had actually accidentally delivered a low blow to Sami Zayn. But was it an accident? You never know. He was almost just like he was protecting his head, but you almost could say it was intentional. The ref didn't call it. Then Sami was hurt from getting low blow, and then bam, out of nowhere, Claymore 1, 2, 3. Drew McIntyre picks up the victory to end off Monday Night Raw. I thought this show was really good. A really good show right after the Royal Rumble. Sad stuff about CM Punk. Interesting what they're trying to do to swerve us with Cody Rhodes. Who he's gonna pick? Who is Cody gonna pick? Roman or Rollins? It's gonna be Roman, but they can keep on trying to make it less obvious. It's happening. It's gonna be Cody versus Roman Part 2 at WrestleMania 40. It's happening. But I thought the show was really good. I'm gonna give it a solid 4 out of 5 because really there wasn't really a bad match. This whole show was just very action-packed. I really liked it. This is Jared W. Make sure to like, subscribe, stay tuned for more wrestling figure content. I'll see you guys in the next one.